Hello everyone, Neil for T-Shares here, coming at you with another video for Tru2X. Today we're going to take a look at Tru2X and Liquity forks, and how we can develop strategies using both. In my last strategy video, we discussed short-term, mid-term, and long-term strategies that users can take advantage of with Tru2X. Now we want to look at how Liquity forks can be utilized to complement these strategies. Liquity is a lending protocol on Ethereum, which allows users to deposit their Ethereum and borrow against it in stablecoins. This protocol is immutable and has been forked several times on Pulse Chain. Liquid Loans, Earn Protocol, Flex Protocol, and Ink Printer are all forks of Liquity. Each of these forks has its own unique collateral asset that you may deposit and then borrow against receiving stablecoins. Each of these forks operates independently, and more can be learned about them by going to their websites or searching on YouTube for more information. Tru2X has an auction house model that will generate a couple of 2X's relatively quickly early on. This being understood, let's look at how we can leverage the Liquity forks to help us boost our 2X gains in Tru2X for strategic plays. When these loan protocols are utilized, users can deposit their assets and take out an interest-free loan by paying a fee. And the amount of loan that they take out can be adjusted based upon their risk tolerance. This risk tolerance is represented as the CR, or collateralization ratio. This ratio represents the amount of value that is borrowed against the collateral in the vaults. The lower the collateralization ratio means the higher risk that the vault can be liquidated in the event of a price drop. So, for example, if we look at someone who's high risk, they may deposit $5,000 worth of assets and borrow for against it, versus someone who's medium risk who does the same deposit but borrows just more than half. And someone who is low risk would deposit the same amount but borrow way less than half. Liquidation levels do vary per protocol, as well as deposit minimums. Check with each protocol before you get started. Now this example, we'll take a look at a high-risk situation where someone deposits $5,000 worth of assets in the vault. So depending on the assets you have in your wallet, each Liquity fork may appeal to you in different ways. Once you take out your loan, you take your stablecoin to swap for Pulse, start your miners, and begin your journey for your 2X. So this user borrows $4,000 from his assets, puts in the Tru2X and doubles it. He now has 8, and before he goes off to his next double, he uses $1,000 to pay back his loan, increasing his collateralization rate, moving into a mid-risk range, leaving $3,000 worth of debt. The remaining 7 is doubled to 14, and repeats the payback process again, which moves him to a low-risk range, and leaving $2,000 in debt. And the remaining 13 is then doubled to 26. Now the market will continue to move as users 2X their gains. Now if the market goes up, what can users expect or have possibilities to do? Well, they could just exit the system and sell all their Pulse for profits and leave. But they could just take some profits out, then take the remaining assets, plus what they have left they can borrow against in their vaults, move back to a high risk range and try to double again. The optimal use of Liquity forks and Tru2X, though, will be to continue using this process by doubling and paying off the loan. As time goes on, the market will move upward, at least we hope, and allowing users to take advantage of it. So instead of selling their Pulse they get when they double it, they could simply just continue to borrow from their collateralized assets and take those stablecoins as profits. Then as every double happens, they just pay it back over time. This allows users to leverage their loans, increasing their Pulse stack, and never have to sell their volatile assets. Another option users would have is, as they double, use their Pulse to increase their vault size, thus increasing the amount they can be borrowed against, thus the amount of profits they can take. Now if the market goes down using this strategy, users must understand that their vaults will be subject to liquidation if their collateralization rate drops too low. But Tru2X, as a tool, mitigates against a 50% drop in the dollar value of Pulse, so every 2x earned saves you that much in valuation. The mid and low risk options lend themselves to a longer time frame using Tru2X. Let's see how this would work. Let's say a user deposits 2,000 into Tru2X, and they go through 2 doubling cycles, ending up with 8,000. They can utilize one of these Liquity forks and deposit 4,000 and take a loan of 2 out. The 4,000 deposited into the Liquity fork would put it at a 500% collateralization ratio, it being in a mid-risk range, and that 2,000 is now profits the users can utilize as they see fit. The remaining 4K would be put back into Tru2X to double to 8, and then the process could be repeated by taking 2,000 this time, take a loan of 1,000 as profit. Now the user has 6,000 worth of assets in vaults, staying at the mid-risk range with a 500% collateralization ratio, and extracting 1,000 in profits. Now the remaining 6 would be doubled to 12, and then another 2 could be taken out, leaving a loan of 1,000, taking profit, and then the remaining 10 could be then doubled to 20. This process can be repeated as often as you like. As more assets are generated, the more value you can deposit and more loan value you can take out as profits. And as time goes on and the valuation of the market goes up, more value can be extracted from the vaults in the forms of loans. And the user decides to exit the system, they can end all their miners and then borrow the maximum amount from their loans and leave, retaining all profits. There's no right or wrong way in how to use Tru2X and Liquity forks together. Whether you're looking for a short-term low-risk play, mid-term high-risk play, or a long-term medium-risk play, it's your choice. Because the user has options to use multiple wallets and miners, they can mix and match these strategies with several different allocations of funds to diversify their holdings and their yields. So no matter which way users decide to utilize Tru2X, the 2X's will come. This DeFi tool is here to boost the way yield is earned. I hope this strategy overview has given you something to think about with utilizing Liquity forks and Tru2X. This is Neil for T-Shares, signing off. And remember, you can save, earn, and grow with TrueDeFi.io. Have a nice day and take care.